Folks, I've got some good gaming news today to start things off with. Hopefully that will help offset the fact that we're playing this. And that is that the Klonoa Fantasy Reverie Collection, I forget the exact title of it, is doing incredibly well sales-wise. It was selling better than Elden Ring yesterday, I believe. Fox, do you want to stop being a pain in my ass? The answer is probably no, but, you know, we'll fix that when we get here. And I mean, that's pretty cool. Fucking stop it. Please. You aren't seeing the issue here, probably, but I'm seeing the screen black out every now and then. And it doesn't seem to be going to a, searching for signal thing on Twitch, so hopefully this is an issue that will sort itself out. Otherwise, this is going to be literally unplayable. And we may have to completely switch to something else. But anyway, yeah, it's nice to see the Klonoa games getting a lot of love. They were very, very good way back when. On the other hand, my brain is like, that's more popular than the series has ever been. And I don't want to be too mean of, You'll notice that I didn't go into full, nature is healing mode about Elden Ring. I'm not a fan of the Souls games, but a lot of people seemed to like Elden Ring, and it seems like a decent game. I just wish that FromSoft would go back to making Armored Core, but I'm probably one of, 7 people in the world who feel that way. So I'm gonna keep that under my hat a little bit. Unfortunately, yes, also yesterday in general, the past 24 hours have been somewhat of a whirlwind in world news. No, another group has not taken over Armored Core. Daemon X Machina was created by a group of people who left FromSoft who were folks who mostly worked on Armored Core, but they don't have the series itself. They have Daemon X Machina, which is a similar game, but not exactly the same. And excuse me just a second, I'm getting a lot of screen flickering in and out, so I'm going to twiddle this HDMI cable a little bit. Again, hope that helps. Oh boy, my desk is collapsing around me. So, yeah. You probably all are aware, but Kazuki Takahashi, the guy who created Yu-Gi-Oh!, drowned, early on Thursday morning in this section of the world. He was out, scuba diving alone. It may not necessarily be correct to say scuba diving, but he was certainly diving, and he had a mask and everything, and he drowned to death. Very, very sad. Yu-Gi-Oh, of course, was a pretty big part of my younger years, more preteen era than anything, and certainly in the era when I was like, oh, these localizations were far more interestingly, though, the former Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, was shot in the back twice with a homemade shotgun. And unsurprisingly, he died. So that is buck wild, to put it nicely. And I mean, there's going to be massive implications to that for a lot of regular people who live in Japan, but also Shinzo Abe was kind of a piece of shit, so
Fidel! Miki!
But yeah, you are correct, by the way, Zephy, that the Armored Core 5 era, as far as I know, did very poorly. I mean, the Armored Core 4 games, I think, did pretty okay, but also they were a bit of a departure in terms of the gameplay style. A lot less slow and methodical, a lot more aggressive and in your face, and I didn't really like them for that reason. I don't know how people felt about them, but it seems like those are ones that people know pretty well.
Hear ye! The forces of evil have been defeated. He shall reign over the land.
Yeah, Takahashi. They're reasonably certain that he drowned because they found him. They found his body off the coast and diving gear. So yeah, he drowned. Very sad. Very. It really was kind of a shock all of yesterday. Unfortunately, I haven't really had a whole lot of people to be like, wow, this really sucks to a lot of people, and
Go see her.
I don't feel like I can talk about my interests with people that I'm around in real life most of the time. Anyway, we've just lost like most of our party. Say goodbye to the cool people. We're probably only ever going to see Victor again. That would be incredibly strange if it was homicide in some regard. But no, everything that I've heard about it was that he drowned. So, I mean, I guess it is possible that someone could have forcibly cut off his air supply in some manner and just left him. But to my knowledge, no, it was just an accident. But I mean, the world is, he hasn't... Obviously, Takahashi has not been the driving force behind the Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise in a very long time, and I believe it has suffered as a result, but, it still kind of hurts. The guy was still doing a lot of stuff with it, and the world is just worse for him not being here. And it feels like something that would be very hard for me to tell to the people I know in real life.
You're finally awake. Thank goodness. You had us very
Although I gotta
worried.
say, this is probably making the world even worse than Takahashi dying could have.
Don't you remember? Ever since you came to this place 2 days ago, you've been sleeping like a log.
Huh?
Anyway, this is my house. So, you haven't heard of Stahl?
I don't know, we found her on a spaceship, dude.
Well, what about where you're from? Do you remember that? Or what your
I think
name
she
is?
might be an alien. We've got to remember, this is
So we know
supposedly
her
a
name is really.
sci-fi franchise, so that's a thing that
We've got absolutely
exists.
No other leads.
I mean, even
Don't know
in
what to do.
a lot of the more,
Out of bind.
generic fantasy games that don't profess to be very sci-fi-ish, there's a lot of
When we fought those
involvement
bad
of
guys
space
on
and
that
stuff like
mountain
that.
path,
I was saying this
something made them freeze in place.
recently-ish
That was you,
in
wasn't it?
something,
Oh, I'm not
I
angry at you
think.
or anything. Actually,
or am I throwing all the way
back
back to when I did that
That
video
happened
about
to be your
Phantasy Star
doing.
1
I figure I
back
should
in
thank you for it.
December?
So,
Because it had been a concept I was sitting on for a year. Because I said some things that I'm surprised didn't,
And it's such a young
get me
age.
fucking executed. But
Terribly sad.
her parents.
anyway,
If only we had some sort of lead to go on.
back to the point. Yeah, I think that's what I'm
What about
thinking
her
of, is a
signet?
video from
On her forehead?
a video
Maybe.
from last year, December,
never seen
where
one
I
like it in my life.
pointed out that, yeah,
Ask Fiore,
Final
though.
Fantasy
She
even
might
has
be
a
able to
lot
tell
of
us something.
like
Oh,
sci-fi
that's
elements
right.
in the first game.
Since
You
she
go into a
researched his signature
you
during
go
her
into
loan job,
space
she probably
in a
could.
tower full of
But
robots.
How are we going to meet her?
It's not
Let me ask
that
Victor about
weird,
that.
really.
Might be able to help. Listen, I'll be right back.
Alright, well, it looks like we're going solo again. I don't need to save just yet, probably. Then again, maybe I should, just to make sure that I can, not have to deal with the cutscenes if I have to reload for some reason. Just in case I get murdered. Oh, you got nothing big to say to us, Ted? Oh yeah, I just remember I can hit start. Right, I forgot about that before. And by start, I mean options, but technically I should say the right thing, I guess. I should pretend that I know what I'm talking about. It's the fucking start button, man. I'm just gonna call it that. And I'm gonna call attention to the fact that I screw it up all the time. Rip in peace, that kindly old man's backbone.
Seeing us
Hey,
off?
nerds. What's up?
You're leaving already?
We are in the middle of a war. We must return to it as soon as possible.
I'd like to ask you a small favor. Could you maybe take me and one more person to the capital?
The capital?
I need you to get me an audience with Fiore.
With Lady Brunelli? Why is that?
A girl with us has lost her memory. She has an extremely unique type of signet, so I thought Fiore could tell us something about it. I desperately want to
that's what you
reunite this
wanted
girl
to.
with her parents. Please.
That's why you want to see
I have
her,
no
right?
reason to refuse. And she should be in Central Rasulia now.
God, I
so
forgot
I
his
assume
name's-
it's possible to meet
He's
her.
Fidel,
Thanks
right?
so much. I owe you one.
Yeah.
We leave post haste. I'll need
I almost
to
called
know
him
the moment
Roddick,
you're
which is the
ready.
name of the got the word protagonist. Awesome. I forgot that his name was Fidel. I almost called him Roddick, which is the name of the player character in more recent translations of Star Ocean 1. A lot of people are like kind of upset because it used to be translated as Radix, and people are like, "Oh, Roddick isn't as good." And I mean, I guess that Roddick makes him sound more like he's just some
Leave
dude
right
as
away.
opposed to an anime character.
Really?
But the reason why I thought about that
As
is
in
because
now?
I
I have to pack my things.
had it brought to my attention that for some
coming with
reason
you,
there's
obviously.
a pattern
I can't
back
leave
and
you to your own
forth
devices.
so far that the male leads of all the mainline Star Ocean games
Yep.
go
It's
back
time
and
for a
forth
trip.
between hair color.
With
So
yours truly in tow.
in all of the odd-numbered games so far, so Star Ocean 1, 3, and 5, they all have blue hair, and for some reason they're all blonde in even-numbered games, which would be 2, 4, and 6. I finally got around to looking at the trailer for the Divine Force, and yeah,
Changes
Raymond, who
clothes,
is the playable
towels,
character in that.
Rations?
I mean,
I'm good.
Raymond, what a boring name, but I'll take it over Edge Maverick. Jesus Christ.
Off we
Raymond
go.
is back to being a blondie. So that's unusual, and I'm curious if it's like on purpose or if the designers just only have a very limited number of ideas and don't realize. What else? Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, maybe they were just confused because, again, there's been a lot of fairly high-profile things going on in Japan like that recently in the last couple of days. Somebody told me that, like, some of the girls who play one of the more recent Love Live units were all in an auto crash or something. And,
Hey,
I mean,
Fidel, what's this? You hitting the old
that's
dusty
not my
trail
sort of
again?
interest, but it is kind of wild for
Yeah.
that much more
Going to the
shit to go
capital for a
on.
little bit.
Don't you think for a minute you can skip your training while we're gone?
There you are. I assume you're done here?
Yeah, we were just making fun of Ted over here.
Aren't Gunter
We
and
were
Hanna
giving him the
supposed
talk.
to come with us?
They've gone on ahead.
Ah, of course.
Is that?
There's no reason to be scared. I'm going with you to the capital.
Yeah, he sure is. Lloyd had a pretty plain-looking sword, didn't he? Because, I mean, there's Ted over there with the most boring-looking longsword I've ever seen.
Ready as well.
Wow, that's a lot of just waiting around
Fidel,
for nothing to happen.
Miki, don't do anything I wouldn't do.
We won't. Look after Stahl for us.
Is there like a
You got
loading issue or something? That it's causing this dialogue to take so long? Or should I be walking around more or less or what?
We'll be back soon.
We'll be back soon.
As everyone's walking ahead of me because I'm trapped inside the red circle. Oh, speaking of loading, we just hit I was gonna say maybe we're getting a real cutscene, but no, it's because we're changing maps. Is there an issue? Yes, it's the game itself. Well, I mean, other than that, because I mean, yeah, obviously that's a bit of an issue. Also, wait a second. I just realized they gave us that help data thing about Relia and how we won't be able to do anything with her when we just had the 3 chuckle fucks in the last scenario that we couldn't control. Although I guess she does have a health bar, so there is a difference, I suppose. Unfortunately, now we're just playing the escort mission game. Ah, yes. Everybody's favorite part of BioShock was the part that led up to the end boss. That game didn't become completely meaningless after Andrew Ryan was killed at all. I haven't played BioShock games in a while. Those are some pretty decent games. Yeah, the loading screens are at least reasonably fast. I'll give them that. I'd say something about how it compares to other PS4 games, but I realized I haven't played a PS4 game in a while. Oh, Kaiba, you are a fantastic character. Every once in a while, people will just send me random bits of stuff from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub because, goodness knows, I haven't watched that show in over 15 years. Maybe even closer to 20 years. You know something? Now is the time for a rewatch. I just gotta actually find a place to get it. But yeah, I mean, I have more PS4 games than I have Switch games, I think. So, I'm having this weird moment, though, of like, didn't the PS4 have just a lot of ports, kind of like what people say about the Switch? And I mean, yeah, a lot of the PS4 games were not exactly exclusives. I mean, one of the main reasons why I was interested in picking up the console was Nier Automata, and of course, Nier Automata is now available on PC in a version that is inordinately janky, but at least you can get like fan-made patches and mods for it, I think. Honestly, that's a problem with all of the consoles of the past several years, is that there's minimal exclusivity aside from Nintendo stuff. And, you know, to be honest, how much value do a lot of the Nintendo exclusives have, right? I'm gonna upset some people saying that, I know, but also, like, you know, I don't think that the Mario 3D games, for example, had much going for them until Mario Odyssey. I mean, Sunshine was okay, but... So, a lot of the time it's like, well, unless you're already a diehard Nintendo fan, picking those consoles up, which are the ones that, to be sure, have actual exclusives, is a little bit of, you know, not necessarily going to be a thing that you wish to do. And then, you know, Microsoft is a real bugger for this thing. They put a lot of their games on PC. In fact, they had a thing where, like, wasn't there a thing where every Xbox One game was available for PC, at least for a period of time? I don't know if that continues to be the case. Although, like, I admit that the Xbox One is still not a console that is really catching my interest. But then again, like, whenever I think about Xbox One games, I'm still stuck in a very launch period type of thing there. It's like, oh, what the Xbox One, what games does it have? Oh, it's got Rise, Son of Rome, and oh, there's Rise, Son of Rome. I'm sure that's gonna make somebody very unhappy that I'm selling it so short, but you know, there haven't been a lot of memorable exclusives for the Xbox One, at least to my mind. And of course, now there's the Xbox Series S, or whatever it is. But yeah, I remember at one point seeing Rise, Son of Rome on Steam, and I'm like, wow, fuck the Xbox One forever, huh? But I digress. Oh yeah, XSplit things up. Yeah, absolutely. That is kind of what I'm saying, is that Mario 64 is a game that I still love, but oh boy, is it rough feeling. Mario Sunshine, which is one that I rewatched somebody play recently. I've got a copy for the GameCube. I'm probably gonna put that in at some point and do a playthrough of my own time. I remember that game being pretty interesting, but also having a lot of very big flaws that kind of just made it a worse game. If you know, if you'd retouched Sunshine, or pardon me, if you'd retouched 64 to be that level of controlling good and not glitchy, although, oh boy, Sunshine has clips. You can fall through so many fucking things in Sunshine. You know, if you fixed up Mario 64 to be a little bit more on that par, it would be legitimately a really good game that probably would actually be worth whatever people are wildly overcharging for it on eBay. I actually don't know what people are selling that for right now. The last time I looked, and that was not long after I managed to pick up a copy for $1 at a garage sale, which is the same copy that I used on stream, so it was a working copy. I think I looked at that like a couple of months later or something, and it was selling for $40 or something. But that would have been years ago, so the odds are pretty good that it's worth way more than, you know, it's punching well above its weight right now, is what I'm saying. But it might actually have a little bit of value if it was, you know, retailed a little bit. As it is now, it's more of an experimental game in a lot of ways. And it went to good places, and it did eventually, you know, it set a lot of major design rules, but, I mean, I'm just gonna say it, Banjo-Kazooie is like 100 times better. It's... Little Mac the game. I mean, yeah, we'll put it that way. That does work. I mean, man, when Smash Ultimate dropped, I actually did manage to scare some people with Little Mac pretty severely. I would say Banjo-Kazooie is better than both of those games. Although, I think that Sunshine has some more interesting ideas in terms of movement and stuff going on. But it's execution versus ideas quite often, and yeah, Sunshine can be a little bit rough in that regard. Oh, am I close enough that I'm... Huh. guys are doing a decent number on me. I'm actually surprised. I'm gonna have to heal after this fight. But yeah, after that point, I couldn't really get into any of the 3D Mario platformers. Oh, I'm gonna have to heal like now, aren't I? Have a use. Don't get interrupted while you're healing yourself. Yeah, there's absolutely some things that are severely botched about Banjo-Kazooie. Those were fixed in, like, the Xbox 360 port, I think. Which, good on them, if only somebody could, like, patch that into the 64 version, because buying an Xbox 360 for Banjo-Kazooie. But, overall, it's a pretty good game. I just think that I put a very large emphasis on control, which is a thing that one of those games does a lot better than the other. To put it succinctly. Yeah, Mario 64's controls have aged quite a bit. Let's see what we can do with some. We can... level this up, yeah. Oh wow, that only cost 1 skill point. That's nice. Sunshine's controls are a little bit not perfect, but I think they're mostly better. I think. And of course, there's probably a few areas where that's not really the case. Apprentice Scumbag. Yeah, what a good name for this enemy. Very amusing. One thing that I don't like about Sunshine, other than the fact that, wow, you can clip through everything, and wow, the game was very extremely rushed to get it out by the summertime to fit with the overall mood of everything. But moreover, I just sort of feel like the use of the gimmick things were a little bit unbalanced in some way. Like the turbo nozzle. You use that for one thing as far as I can remember. There's probably some more that I don't remember, but mostly I just remember you use it for one of the secret stars in Delfino Plaza, and that's it. Meanwhile, you use the rocket nozzle for goddamn near everything. You use it for the final boss. But of course, the thing that's always going to stick out to me about Sunshine is that terrible, terrible, god-awful cutscene in the very beginning of the game when Mario gets arrested. It looks really unfinished, and it kind of is, so.
Still got a long way to go.
Blue coins are pretty obnoxious as well, but ultimately not that far afield, although, yeah, collecting them is pretty rough, and they really needed a place to inform you somewhere in the game how many you have, because I believe that is not actually stored in a place where you can view it. At least not in the original. Well, the health air meter thing is a good fix because that was very exploitable in 64. And of course, by that point, that had just sort of become the standard, so... But you could do some really ridiculous things with that health air meter thing in 64. But also, on the other hand, good on them for not adapting the double air sections from Banjo-Kazooie. That's all I've got to say. I'm so glad that that's not a thing. Axeman equipment. I already don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy equipment from this dude anymore. Alright, so we can buy Fidel a new sword. Yeah, you take that. We can buy... What's her name? A new staff. Give her some... decent boots, yeah. Victor, we can buy Victor a slightly fancier looking sword. Unfortunately, the model doesn't change, but we've been over that before. And that, I think, is Fiore's default orb, etc. This makes us weaker to win, I think. Equip Raylia first, because I think she gets the durability a little more than Miki could, but we're going to be able to afford to give everybody some stuff. There we go. These are expensive, and they're only plus 5 points each. Yeah, that, to be fair, is not exactly super great. It is not without issue, we'll say that, but for the large part, the idea is probably better. Probably. Put that on Victor and get some more health. Although, honestly, saying that, I also feel like Sunshine just often felt like the coins were so spread out anyway. Which is kind of weird. But most of that is because the levels are a lot bigger and everything. Boring statistics, etc.
You're rather late, Victor.
Sorry for that, but our mission is now over. I can give you the details soon.
We don't have time for details. Once you're done with your reports, rejoin your regiment.
Where are you headed, sir?
The front. They've breached our borders.
That can't be.
The Trey-Curran military has entered our territory and pushed all the way to Sortiview. We're gathering all our forces there for a final showdown as we speak.
Oh boy.
Is that why you're in such a hurry, Major?
It's not just me. Advisor Camus and the signatures from Languedoc are already well on their way.
Lady Brunelli, too? I'll head there, too, as soon as I can.
Good. Get on it.
Oh, we got a destination, I suppose. Or pops back
As
up
you
on
doubtless heard, Lady Brunelli is not here. I would never take you to the front lines under normal circumstances.
We're more than capable of protecting ourselves.
Fine then.
We'll be fine,
Okay,
Victor. Jeez.
Let's go.
Should probably go heal. Be a good idea. Oh, we can do side quests if we want. Although, I mean, how much more do we want to be distracted with this game, right? Right? Go rest. This. 300 to rest. Well, I mean, we've been earning money at a decent enough pace that only looks big. It's not quite the level of numeric inflation as you get in some games of this era, but it's still something, that's for sure. Save. All right. Tap out. Oh, that's helpful. Alright, so here we can get people to talk to them. Let's see.
Okay then, let's reconvene in front of the inn.
Hey, you. Close as possible. Do we want to go to the little markers to stations, right?
Well, if it isn't Victor, did you come here looking for me?
I'm just passing through.
Then this must be fate. Draw your sword.
What do you mean, fate?
Actually, I was injured in the last sortie. We'll have to put this duel on hold for a while.
Then why did you propose a duel in the first place?
There seems like someone, all right. Now back out we go.
Pardon me.
Yeah, well, he looks like a guy that, yeah. Yeah. Alright, back out we go. This should hopefully give us an idea as to where we need to go. Yeah, okay. It looks like that area is walled off, so we should probably... Yeah, no. You haven't played Star Ocean since Till the End of Time. This... how many games are there? There are currently, not counting the spin-off games, of which there are a couple, and not counting the many ports and remakes of one, there are 5. This is the most recent one to come out. There's a new one coming out pretty soon, so that will be number 6. Till the End of Time, of course, was number 3. A game that I think I've said that recently, but I don't hear it mentioned much anymore. Which is weird, because I remember at the time that it came out, and for many years afterwards, people were like, oh, that's one of the best games on the PS2, just in general, and then it kind of... feelings kind of changed about it, needless to say. It had 2 discs, which for a PS2 game is fairly sizable. There's a couple of 2-disc PS2 games out there, but not a lot. Like, even a lot of the... even a lot of the typical, like, big game franchises, you know, like Final Fantasy X was on a single disc on PS2. Which is a marked difference from the fact that the last couple of games on PS1 had been 4-disc monstrosities. Star Ocean 3 is one of the relatively few 2-disc PS2 games that I have. I would have to go look at some of the others. Soul Calibur 3 had 2 discs, but one of them was just like a demo disc, so that doesn't count. It does not count at all. And of course, once you hit PS3 and PS4, by which point they were using Blu-ray discs for games, multi-disc games basically disappeared from the lexicon.
Thank you for taking us this far.
Take care, for you never know what's in store on the battlefield.
And may victory smile upon you, Victor.
Soul Calibur 3 was a pretty okay game.
Where could she be?
Who knows?
Also, we just lost the best
Let your
member of our
guard
party.
down.
That's unfortunate. Maybe he'll come back. Soul Calibur 3 was a pretty alright game. I remember having a lot of fun with it. However, I also remember there were a number of glitches with it. I had my save data corrupted one time while playing Soul Calibur 3. And I had to redo everything that I had done up to that point.
Once we have this under control, we'll help you search for it.
That's kind of a shame, but, you know, not a terrible game, so I did enjoy replaying it.
Stop. You have a child with you?
We do.
We'll discuss that later. For now, get out of here.
Know where she is?
She's somewhere on the battlefield. It's too dangerous here. Get to safety.
Let's search by ourselves.
Oh, we got a trophy for running away for a single fight. Good old trophies, they exist. Yeah, that is a thing I have definitely mentioned that before, that Soul Calibur 3 was also one of the games in the series that was kind of the dirtiest about the game, more or less reading your inputs. I mean, the Soul Calibur games in single player were not exactly easy affairs ever, but that game was absolutely absurd sometimes in terms of whether or not you could do certain things. And I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm super good at fighting games, guys. I'm a complete and utter jank lord whose main skill is learn the cheeser and do that. But I knew like the cheesiest shit for almost all the characters, and it almost never worked. I never got everything. I didn't get all of the weapons from Olkadan for everybody. The ones that you get for fighting him in story mode. The only one that I was ever able to get, I don't remember what the weapons are called, so yeah. Oh look, Fiore joined our party on Death's Door. Thanks, guys. Yeah, the only one of those that I actually got of those weapons from Olkadan, to go back to that subject before I get too far afield,
What's going on here?
was the one for
What's
Shanghua.
happening again?
And I think
Our
Shanghua
enemy
was like
stopped
really
moving.
stupid high
Whatever
tier
it
in that
is,
game
now's our
too,
chance
so
to
I guess it kind of
counterattack.
makes
Let's
sense.
end this now.
Reporting in. The enemy forces have begun their retreat. As of now, our troops have left the garrison and are in
But yeah, I
pursuit.
would not blame you for quitting the game after the save corruption thing. On the other hand, I was just having too much fun with it, so
Come on, let's
like
get away from the battlefield. We'll never be able to get to the bottom of her condition here.
I was pissed about it, sure, but it could have been so much worse. You know, it could have happened in this game. If it does, I'm gonna throw my PS4 out the fucking window. I'm not gonna do that. I like the PS4 too much. I have Eyes of Heaven and Sonic Mania installed on this. Why would I want to throw it out a
I
window?
think I've gotten my head around it all. So, this is the second time.
It is.
And both times it was really his astonishing power that saved us.
It behaves like a signet, but it's gone now. Therefore, maybe it's not?
We're not sure. We'd appreciate your input, or anything that comes to mind.
I've never seen a signet with these properties, nor witnessed such powerful signaturgy. I don't know if I can even classify it.
You don't? Oh.
But there may be someone over at the Royal Institute who can. At the very least.
You know, Fiore, I'm
knowledge of
glad that you don't have a
signatory is far
personality to
more
go with
extensive
this
than my own.
outlandish outfit
More
you
than yours,
have.
Fiore? Unbelievable.
Want to meet him?
Yes, that'd be
Or a
wonderful.
voice that's
Well,
even
then
all
let's head
that
over.
distinct
Some
from
introductions are
the
certainly in order.
literal teenage girl in the party.
Hold on a moment. The situation in Swordview has yet to stabilize. Lady Brunelli can't leave at this.
Oh, your
critical
friends weren't that
juncture.
much into Soul Calibur 3 as they were into 2.
Excuse me.
Dad?
That's a shame.
I came to call on Lady Brunelli and accidentally
What
eavesdropped on the
version
conversation.
of Soul Calibur 2 were y'all
Apologize for
playing?
being this way.
Because I definitely feel like the GameCube one was
Fidel,
probably
listen.
the most
You're to take
popular.
Lady Brunelli and the little girl and escort
Certainly,
them to
that's
Santarol,
the one that
King
we
of
had, and
Black
that's the
Dog.
only one I ever knew people really talking about. And
Master.
I think the GameCube version of Soul Calibur 2 is the only one I had. Oh, yeah, the Xbox one. Neat.
All
The
future
Xbox
goals
one,
that
which
might
had
arise,
Spawn
so
as
that
a bonus
dream become
character,
reality. This is a
which
small price to pay.
is
You control
interesting
this, Master?
because I'm pretty sure the
You're only
Xbox
able to
version
try
still had
to fix
Necrid,
the girl.
who
Don't
is
worry.
like a
I'll take it
Spawn
on
character
myself to
himself a
inform
little
the
bit
king.
almost. In
Thanks
fact, I'm
very
pretty sure
much for
Necrid
the
was
kind
actually
gesture.
designed by Todd
And
McFarlane.
Fidel, make sure Lady Brunelli reaches her homeland safely.
I will.
I shall remain here.
But yeah,
May our
Necrid
paths
was
cross
pretty
once more.
neat.
We truly owe you
I
a
seem
debt
to
of
recall
gratitude.
Necrid was also
Thank you so much.
incredibly
You take care
busted
as well,
though, so like
I suggest we wait until the girl wakes up. Then we can head out.
But yeah, speaking of back then, oh man, my brother had a fucking arcade stick for the GameCube. I haven't had an arcade stick for a console at any point since then. And it's not because I don't like arcade sticks. Obviously, they're fantastic. It's just that, wow, they are not cheap. I mean, controller prices are already fucking disgusting. But the last time I went and looked at an arcade stick for any of like the PS3 going forward, they were over $100. And frankly, I should just go pull up Slagcoin again and just find all of the, find the parts and build one myself. It would probably be a lot cheaper.
I would never, ever think of leaving you behind, Relia. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
at some
if
point I
scared you,
probably
Matt.
should see about picking up the other versions of Soul Calibur 2 besides the GameCube version, because I have all those consoles, so...
I see you're up. You don't feel funny at all, do you?
I'm okay.
That's good. Well then, let's get out of here.
You have one for the NES and for 64. Oh god, yeah, new controllers are grossly expensive. Like, if you want a new set of Joy-Cons for your GameCube, it's like $80 or something. Or Joy-Cons for your GameCube, I just realized, oh my god. I'm thinking about the GameCube too much. Help! if you want a new set of Joy-Cons for your Switch, pardon me, it's like $80 to get actual OEM Joy-Cons from Nintendo. It's disgusting.
Sorry.
I managed to pick up like a regular wired controller for it for like $25. It appears to be something that was actually licensed by Nintendo. It has a nice piece of art of Samus from Metroid Dread wearing the Dread suit. Well, the power suit from Dread, I guess. If I say the Dread suit, I realized I'm like, wait, you mean at the end of the game when she's like transforming into a Metroid? No. I mean the cool scrappy looking blue suit that she's in for the beginning part of the game. I got that for like $25. I'm pretty sure it's an actual thing that's licensed by Nintendo. It's not a Nintendo OEM controller though. I mean, that is something that's a little bit too cool to be on something like that anywhere, but yeah, that is... And I looked at that and I was like, that seems a little bit strong for what is still a third-party controller. But it's a hell of a lot better than buying a regular Switch Pro controller, which, yikes.
Is the Royal Institute of Signatory Studies. Most people coming from Sword of View pass through Central Rasulia, then Medoc, and finally cross the Rond River to get there.
I was originally, a while ago, looking for another PS3 controller. Not that the one that I have is bad.
No. I just have a barrage of questions. You know, about the inner
But
workings of her
there
power.
was one trophy that always really pissed me off in one of those old games.
You
It
and I
was,
both wear these markings, called signets.
was it Ratchet
upon
and
our
Clank: A
flesh.
Crack in Time,
It
I
is
think, is the
extremely
one.
rare, however, to see them
And
on a child.
there's
Really?
an
I
arcade
won't
machine
say
that you
there
can
are
play
no
in it, and
exceptions
you have
to
to
this
get like a
rule.
really
Still,
ridiculous amount of
Assuming
points.
what she cast was signaturgy,
And
it's much more complex and effective
to
than
actually
any form of it
do
I've
that,
ever
like a
seen
lot of
her.
people are just like, oh, get a second controller
What's
and plug
more,
it in. They'll go after
considering
the
the
second
fact that
player
she
and you'll be
collapsed
safe to
both times
farm
she
points
used
that
it,
way.
we can
And I was
infer
like,
that
that's
her
fucking
signaturgy is
stupid, but
puissant
I
enough to
will
affect the caster.
consider it if I can find
I
one
have
for a
to say,
reasonable price.
It's
And this is
beyond my
back when the
understanding.
PS3 was still
One
like
last
a
thing. Every signet I know
not
is always
retro
visible,
console, I guess.
but hers don't appear except
And
when
they
she
were
uses
like
signaturgy.
$50, $60
Yeah.
new.
I was wondering about that
And it's
too.
only gotten worse
I bet
since then, and
signatured would.
I find
I
that
haven't been this
absolutely
motivated for such a long
disgusting
time.
and frankly kind of appalling. I mean, if we're gonna be pushing for multiplayer so goddamn much, maybe we should make these controllers like reasonably priced? You know? Am I the one who's insane here? The answer is probably yes, but moreover, I guess that part of the problem is also that they're pushing specifically online multiplayer. You know, multiplayer at the couch is not a thing that exists anymore almost, which is very sad. And surely, you know, during a pandemic that we are still in, folks, you know, it would probably be a bad idea to be like, oh yeah, we need more of that. You know, we need more super spreader events, right? But just in a very generalized manner, the disappearance of that from gaming's lexicon makes me kind of sad. Because I played a reasonable amount of local co-op, and it was a thing that was very important to me as a person who played video games growing up. That's how you make friends in real life. Which, believe it or not, those are things that exist. People are actually real. Did you know that? I know I have a hard time believing it myself, but let's not all go completely ballistic at once. Not real. Oh, you. Well, we're going to take a second here. We're going to spend some points. Fiore, I have a bad feeling you're going to need a lot of assistance in being a damage output machine, so we're going to bump that a little bit. Shrewd Overseer, this is one that's unlocked. MP cost minus 15%, that seems pretty solid. Just play the new the new Turtles with Lethal and a couple of your buddies. Nice. I've heard that that game is really good. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have a ton of cash to put towards anything in terms of new games. I probably should have reconsidered on buying Sonic Origins because Predators were, because that game seems a lot better, the new Turtles game. But I did also buy the Legendary Edition, or whatever it's called, of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, when that was on sale on Steam. And I bought Round the Wheel a copy of Hypnospace Outlaw. Don't tell anyone that I did that. He already knows. It's not like I'm keeping it a secret from him, but... Then why am I telling nobody to not tell anybody? Anyway, yeah, because he seemed really into that, though. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Here, have my $10. And I resubbed on 14. Because, of course, my sub ran out like a couple of days after Data Center Travel came up. And I have a lot of friends across the entirety of the data centers in America. I think that Alan and his wife and a lot of other people are on Primal, so I can go visit them. My main is on one of the servers on Ether, and I have a lot of people who are on Crystal, because they're all in Balmung, blah blah, make your jokes here. So I've, that was just a perfect time for that to run out at the same time as the Steam sale. So it's like, hey, you wanna spend like most of your game related money allowance at once? And I was like, that seems a little overkill, but I'll do it. So yeah, Shredder's Revenge, I will get to that at some point. Surely people aren't just going to be like, oh, it's 2 weeks later, we're done with this. I would hope. Granted, the way I get around to things, by then, they might be a little bit like, well, we're doing some other things now, but we'll find out. We will find out. I am not somebody who's usually very up to date. Else? Fog? Yeah. I think that more games, more RPGs need a better way for you to be able to view, like, status effect names. Because just seeing those little icons, it's not necessarily the most helpful thing. You'd see me just digging through my entire inventory looking for a thing there. Remember, I don't have a manual for this game. I don't even have the original case. It's in a generic GameStop case, and that makes me kind of sad. Like, okay, the cover art is not super tremendous, and unfortunately it has a certain someone on the front cover of it, so that decreases the overall value of it. But it would just be nice to have, like, the original packaging for things, because I'm turning into one of those people. I'm turning into a video game collector, even when it is collecting junk. But, you know. I can just replace the manual with something else, I guess. I can put my Maui Mallard and Cold Shadow manual there, and we'll pretend that it makes sense. Because that is one of the very few games that old that I have a manual for. I have, I think, a grand total of 2 game manuals for any SNES games whatsoever. One of them being that, and the other being Operation Logic Bomb, which the manual for that is in a pretty shitty state, but I do have a manual for it, so that's neat. And stuff like that tended to get thrown out a lot because children, and probably also parents, were just like, oh, cardboard box, just chuck it out. And then little Timmy is all confused because he doesn't know how to play the video games.
I wouldn't be here without training.
Still got a long way to go.
And of course, there are also people who did that with Sega Genesis games, even when they had the hard cases, and that's just, oh man, that upsets me greatly. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of games that have the cardboard boxes. I have Sonic Spinball and Sonic and Knuckles in those, but most games, as far as I know, up to a certain era had the plastic hard cases. And the idea of people just chucking those out just kind of upsets me a little bit. Here they come.
Okay, we need to focus. This'll clean it.
Again, I like that these dudes are called apprentice scumbags. A pretty decent enemy name choice there, everybody.
Alright, who's next? Am I stronger?
I would really like to try to fill up this meter, because I think that's probably what I get when I get SP boosts, which are a thing that I could really stand to get more of.
Why can't they all?
Because, yeah, being able to upgrade all that stuff would be good, but of course they don't want to give you too much SP, because otherwise you probably could become pretty busted pretty quickly. I've heard there's still some things in this game that you can do to completely and horribly break it, balance-wise. Oop. That's my bad for continuing attacking that guard several times.
Now my clothes are all dirty.
Wow, the sun's getting pretty low in the sky.
After crossing the Rond, we still have to get over the mountains. Can a kid take that?
And I'm kind of tired myself.
Well, we're not in any particular hurry, so let's adjourn in Medoc.
Alright, well, I guess we're going into this city and taking a break. Where again, we're gonna have nobody looking at any of what's going on here and being like, oh, that's weird. Good old RPGs. They are a genre. That's for sure. Marked on the map. That'll be a no. Hey, y'all remember when that future party member was over here and... We're probably going to want to rest here. Oh, see, Fiore's paying for it for us. That's nice. That's just a way of saying that there's a cutscene here. Thanks, gang!
We should probably get to bed.
I think someone's coming. Yes?
Excuse me, but I'm with the inn. Can I have a moment of your time?
There's more than one. Something's up. Maybe tomorrow. Go out through the window. Quickly.
And you're being a little loud about it. They're going to find out pretty soon.
They're on to us! Kick it down!
Run faster, everybody.
They're escaping! After them! Get them! No matter what the cost!
There's no time to find out. Concentrate on getting away. That's the same weapon Eidolon's leader was using.
Direction we're going? Yeah, this way. Okay.
Hey, Fiddly, those outfits of theirs. When we first met Relia, there were 2 guys with her.
Didn't stop to look. And we're not stopping to hear the conversation. Wow, it's like a cutscene we can skip. Wait. That's multiple jokes in one, almost. Ah, yes, an axe beak type of bird monster that you see in a bunch of different RPGs. There were axe beak monsters in 14. Hammer beaks. They're the ones that are probably more memorable because they were in the starter area.
I still have a lot more to learn.
Going the correct way and about to not be. It wouldn't be such a good idea to go backwards. Save. It's like all the way over there. Hopefully that's before we fight a boss. Because I have a feeling there's going to be one coming pretty soon, but I wouldn't know for sure when it was, because, yeah. That was a lot of magic damage that everybody was doing.
That was scary.
Oh, it did a thing. Well, good work, stream. I'm glad that Twitch is such a functioning website, everybody. That's all I've got to say on this one, because I am not showing dropped frames. And to be honest, I will take any opportunity I can to roast Twitch for being not a very functional website. Because, sure, I may be, using their platform, and they may, in theory, allow me to obtain a little bit of money from it. And by that, I mean, that I've got to wait until I build up $100 worth of money I can get, which is like, oh good, the HDMI cable between those two hiccuped a little bit. Great. Anyway, it may be that in theory I can eventually withdraw money from those subs and tiny amount of bits that I've ever earned. Once I hit,
I don't see any sign of them anymore.
$100, and by that it's more like $250 that people have to spend on me in terms of
this is
subs
no time
anyway.
To be resting on our laurels. We still have a ways before we can actually
But
make it there.
also,
Okay
if the website doesn't fucking work most of the time,
I'll lead the way.
or in various ways, I will absolutely make fun of them for it, because
Come on, let's go.
it's still owned by Amazon. And they have practically infinite money. Amazon is getting increasingly closer to killing off brick and mortar shopping entirely. So what I'm saying is, fuck them. They can take a joke. Whoever is currently in whatever position Jeff Bezos used to be in, that supposedly he's not quite in as much of said position anymore, that guy can, you know, console himself with their billions of dollars that they make every second, basically, and everything will be fine. And if you're wondering just how much attention I pay to these battles, the answer is approximately 0, by the way. But also, I mean, look at how much is going on here. I think that might be justified.
Still got a long way to go. Stronger?
I don't 100% understand what this is referring to, but, you know, it's Comcast. I would not be surprised to hear that Comcast is funny. Can you stop with the guard? Stupid bird. Should I just be hitting circle to try and kill this thing?
Done here.
Yeah, I mean, hack and slash gaming is not necessarily bad or anything. It's, you know, there's plenty of room to strategize. Have stuff go on in those games, but this one is definitely a game where I'm feeling like that is not so much the case. Save. Because again, we're probably at a point where we're fairly close to a boss of some description. I mean, look at this big thing. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So Comcast is just... They're being about as good as any cable company is, really, it sounds like. It is truly amazing just how incompetent every single type of, like, industry in that area, communications industry, I guess is what we'll say, but even that sounds like it's too sweeping. You know, all the stuff that we rely on for our entertainment, how unbelievably incompetent all of them are. Between, like, this and, you know, and by this I meant Comcast, although this is pretty questionable too. If only we could actually blame this on, like, a cable company or something, but, you know, cable television companies are all terrible. Every internet provider sucks. Every phone company sucks. It's just amazing how utterly fucking incompetent all of these companies are, that we all have these great reliances on. Of course, it doesn't really hurt them, is a sentence I could leave by itself, but it doesn't hurt them in the regard of, you know, things like that, that they are also often, you know, carving up parts of the country to be like, hey,
I've never seen that type of signature before.
we're going to pointedly not do business and not compete with you here. We're going to set up multiple localized monopolies. And it's just going to be perfectly legal.
Hold on to Relia.
You know, if we had monopoly laws whatsoever in this country, which, I mean, I don't think that's even a thing anymore.
It doesn't work?
How is this possible? Nothing we do hurts them at all.
What can we...
That's some pretty underhanded fighting you're doing. Talk about sandbag.
Don't waste so much mana on them, guys.
Who are you?
We'll even things out.
Yeah, exactly. See, you get it.
Shields are gone.
I've neutralized their shields. You should be able
It's kind of exactly what you would expect, but also...
You meddlers aren't from this planet, are you?
Balance is good.
Oh, we're gonna... fight him. Back in the face for our troubles. Wow, the amount of need for revives here is pretty strong. We are losing party members hand over fist. Next time I go to a shop, I have to buy some more revival items. These guys are stupidly durable, too. Like, this is needless. I suppose you got a war of attrition somehow. Also, I've just noticed that our new party members are significantly more stout than we are. I mean, the other blue hair guy had over 3,000 HP at the start of the fight. Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna... We're gonna try a reserve rush here. I don't like spending this meter because it gives us like actual tangible bonuses, but I think that they really want you to do that to be able to actually get anywhere. And we'll revive the other two chuckleheads in a bit. Oh, good. There's still another one. Well, you know what? Let's take a look at... Oh, I can't control them yet? Okay. Damn. I was going to say, let's take a look at what the blue guy can do. And the answer is apparently, well, we're not going to find out. Which is a shame because, I mean, he looks like a pretty cool dude, I guess. I think he's got some kind of an auto crossbow thing going on. That could be kind of neat. You know, in a setting like this, if you're using an automatic crossbow in an area where, you know, pistol-sized weapons that are as powerful as Gatling guns exist, you're probably kind of a baller. Or at the very least, incredibly pretentious.
Saved our skin back there. Thanks for the help.
Think nothing of it.
You know, I've played Kingdom Hearts 2. I fought Zigbar.
Can we join you on your trip?
Huh?
I must say, milady, that expression of total disgust ruins your elegant.
Allow me. We're not out to do you any harm. My name is Anne, and his is
Emerson is gonna get the shit
Exactly.
kicked out of him at
You
some
can
point,
totally
isn't he?
trust us. So just take us.
Emerson. Please stop telling these nice people what to do.
You're right. I'd also be wary of someone asking to join me out of the blue. Okie dokie then. This is the deal. We're just like you guys.
Just like us? How so?
You see, we were also running from those Atramentus thugs.
They were after you too?
There was that brouhaha in Medoc, right? We were scurrying away from that and we happened upon your little scuffle.
And you decided that you would help us?
2 of you are beautiful ladies and 1 an adorable kid. Who to save and who to snuff out was clear as day.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Sounds good to me. You can come
Well,
with
at least
us.
this guy's
I
not
knew
the
you'd
space
say
cops,
that.
so.
We won't let
You know what?
you down.
Let's go with him, everybody. All right, so why don't we get a look at our new party members as I cry in running very low on Phoenix Downs. For everybody a bit. Gotcha. So there's our X potions. Powerful drugs, everybody. Ooh, that seems pretty strong. Alright. Alright. Emerson, what's your deal? Menace. That is pretty nice of a quick attacks on foes. That seems like it'll be a pretty decent AI partner here. And Anne is a brawler. I don't know if we got a good look at the fact that she just punches people, but she does. Fiore, you should have. Not have it. Also, get away from Miki. Yeah, we're gonna give her Shrewd Observer because that should reduce the cost of her healing. Fiore, you don't really need it. Here, we're gonna do that. On the slash should probably be. Whatever. Let's see if we can't level this up a little bit. Do we get anything from this? Ooh, Sharpshooter. Yes, we do. Critical hit rate plus 3%. Meh. Take fewer actions plus 6. Perform more attacks from long range and move more often. That definitely seems like something that is inside the wheelhouse of Mr. Crossbows there. Sorry, I just bumped my desk with my table. Or bumped my desk with my chair, pardon me. Somebody's hitting me like a trillion. Alright. Back to it. Not far off from where we need to go. So we can resupply, hopefully get some nicer gear for everybody. At least get some better armor for our main folks would be a good thing. Could you not disconnect while I'm doing this HDMI cable? Thankfully, again, a lot of these fights really are just mash X to win. I assume that eventually that will change, but for the time being, it really is just, yeah. The fights are easy enough that really just adding more HP is just a source of annoyance more than anything.
Santarol's not far now.
Sun's coming up.
Hey, look. So pretty.
Side path. Ah, damn. This piece. It's also real great that, like, this isn't showing up on the video, which is probably for the better for any of the 0 people who are going to come back and watch this on YouTube. But it probably also makes me sound insane. On the other hand, I was having a display issue earlier where the screen was stretched a little too vertically, so the bottom was cut off a little bit. And that has fixed itself right up. So,
I still have much
can't really complain about that. But let's get some free healing items, a little bit of cash. And I do mean a little bit. But anything is good, so... I almost missed this chest. These treasure chests really blend into the woodwork. Well, dirt work, I guess. But, you know, we're not here to be that level of precise. Maybe we should be. But meh. Meh. Meh.
So this is it. The storied capital of
Oh wow, this is almost neat looking.
I don't want you getting lost, so stick close, okay?
Okay.
Follow me, and I'll escort you to the facility.
There's one here, another there. Signets are everywhere around the city.
You've got some keen eyes there. Legions of signaturges study here to enter the Royal Institute, and there are just as many shops that cater to their needs. So you could empirically say this bustling metropolis was built upon and lives off of signaturgy.
Amazing! Stunning! Unreal! Not in my wildest dreams did
I never knew having my motherland praised could elicit such feelings in me.
Let me do things. You have... Okay, so we can buy one-shot spells with... That's what these are. That's neat. And there's some crafting items for some other stuff. And what have you got? You've got our healing items. Thank goodness. Let's buy a bunch of those. Now, we might be good on other things for now. And over here we have some more healing items. Prehistoric. This will let us, these are stuff to craft a variety of healing items. Again, I don't know a ton about that stuff, so we're probably just going to subsist on these berries we keep finding. Other random potions and stuff. Alright, so our armorer apparently has some gear for us. Ooh. Nice. I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to afford all this. But we get some bonus inch from that staff. Increased ice damage, that's pretty solid. That'll help Fiore out because one of her main spells is ice-based. Everybody else, you all... Okay, so there's better armor for our guys. Oh, right. That is a better choice for Anne. But she already had this, so we can give that to one of our other party members. I guess it'll be Fiore who gets the hand-downs. Do you not have... Oh, you had something else that was equal stats. Okay. I was confused, and to be honest with you, I think I still am. CQC, huh? I remember Metal Gear Solid. Sir, where do you keep getting those long swords from? And for the time being, Fiore is going to get Traveler's Cloak, because it's stronger than what she has right now. Unless I can afford an upgrade, which I don't think I can. Yeah, I can, actually. Never mind. Well, that's nice. All that really remains is upgrading the armor for the two blue Emerson, and I keep forgetting Fidel's name. He is a forgettable character. Granted, like, not many characters in this game really have much personality to them. Honestly, it feels like at this point, the closest thing to a character with personality, we have Miki and we have Emerson. And Emerson, you know, that's kind of a detriment to the poor guy, not for nothing. But, you know, he's good looking, but he would be tape gagged in my basement. Wait. That seems like a little bit of a strange thing to be saying on any stream about anything, but I don't know if we can get away with it here.
Behold, the Royal Institute.
Well, I mean...
Keep it up.
Fiore's not memorable as a character, but her design is so fucking absurd that it kind of is.
It opened by itself.
Actually, I kind of had this weird thought recently that, like, considering some of the design elements and the green hair and the black bodysuit, do you think that whoever designed her was thinking Morrigan a little bit? The answer is probably not, but also, I mean, yeah, the problem is that anybody who's memorable in this game is memorable for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, much more so than any fairy tale I know.
This place is way too technologically advanced.
I'll get some footage.
No, you better not.
Oh, maybe they are the space cops. They are whispering a little too loudly. Well, so there we are, locked in the fake cutscene walk. We're stuck in our RP walk.
Cassius, it's me, Fiore.
Come in.
Yes, the college is run by a 12-year-old.
So this kid is...
Despite his misleading appearance, he's the most talented scholar we've ever had.
Welcome to the Institute. I'm Cassius, one of the researchers here. Bringing visitors along is indeed a rare occurrence for you, Fiore.
That's because I'd like your opinion on this girl's signets, since they're not the type you'd find every day.
Signets? On a child who, if anything, is even younger than myself?
That's my first question. Who in their right mind would dare imbue signets on such a small child?
I cannot pretend to know the answer, but I can unequivocally declare that it is no one related to this institute. Not even I have had a signet imbued upon my flesh.
But that's not the only issue.
Well, I mean, listen, we know it's weird. We've already had that discussion,
she's
so...
much too young to be getting signets imbued on her. Secondly, you almost never see hers. The only time anyone has observed them is when she uses them. Thirdly, she can't, by all accounts, control her signaturgy. Even so, we know she can at least activate it. And now for the finale. I've never seen anything remotely resembling either her signet's forms or functions. So, what do you think?
Do you happen to know what any of the signets look like?
Yes, just a second.
This is where we find out that she sneezed the last time this spell went off and she has no fucking clue what they look like, right?
You've got me. I can't say I've seen anything that resembles this illustration either.
Well, I can't even make out the details on this, even on my other side monitor over here. I'm sure you people are having a hell of a time with the Twitch output, but...
At first, I was merely along
yeah,
for the
that
ride.
is indeed not helpful.
Now,
Never mind.
I've taken an interest in her and her signets myself.
I'll do what I can, such as looking for any precedent. Meanwhile, why not venture to the Ancient Institute and search amidst the troves of archaic documents there?
Are you sure they're gonna let us touch those? Like, shouldn't we glove up or something to deal with this?
Glimpse into the solution.
If one of us learns
I don't know a
anything, keep the
ton
other one
about
apprised.
old papers,
so
but I
much,
feel like
Cassius.
handling them with your bare hands is a good
Now
way
we
to
know our
ruin
next
them horribly.
destination. Let's go there.
You know, assuming they are on paper because they document. I suppose I don't actually know for sure, though. You know, I'm going to take a look at these rooms real quick because I've had this feeling for a while of just, wow, this game doesn't really give a shit if you explore or not.
Whoops.
To almost FF13 kind of levels where, you know, that game was raked over the coals for being linear. But, you know, at least 10, which is another game that's super linear, is one where you could actually explore and find stuff. I didn't feel like that was so much the case with 13, although I may also have blanked most of 13 out of my mind because it just never felt right to play. And, oh hey, there's a chest. Well, okay, so I guess at least there is some reason to explore off the beaten path slightly. One chest in these 6 little side rooms, and I guess some flavor text if you are for some reason invested in this world where nobody has a character. It is kind of, well, disappointing in that regard. One sec here. We don't have an objective marker. That's helpful. At least the cats won't talk to us. That's nice. Anything? Okay, yeah, so it's up the path. We're probably gonna get into some more fights. The game's gonna mock me for not having enough money to buy that armor earlier by foisting needlessly large amounts of damage on me, isn't it?
Aren't you tired at least a smidgen, Relia? I'm okay. I don't need to rest. Think you can keep going? Yeah. Don't overdo it, okay? If you get tired, let me know. Okay. Shouldn't have any problems. As long as we stay
Nope, I see they're gonna give us, like, the easiest fights possible, apparently. I expected a little more resistance than this, but... Oh, I didn't get a chance to actually properly switch over to him. I was like, you know, I actually kind of want to see what Emerson's about. I want to see if he's any good. I don't particularly find Sword Boy too interesting to use, but...
No one lives to me. I'll do my best.
Alright, so up close you've got this sort of spinning kick that has a massive, really gross lead up to it, it seems like. Man, he just does not feel good. Can we get a little bit more work going with this? Yeah. His wind up on all of his attacks so far seems really big.
Great job. Let's keep moving. Just as I expected.
Still room
I
for
still have a
improvement.
lot more to learn.
Like, I know that there's a problem with a lot of the magic users, but I thought a lot of the long-range characters were actually not so bad. I mean, my understanding is that Opera in 2 is completely fucking broken, so I don't expect quite that level, but... You know, Emerson just feels like I'm playing this game while I'm in a molasses flood. Anna seems okay from what little that I've managed to do with her there, but she doesn't feel like she moves as much while attacking the way Fidel does, which keeps him adhered to enemies. And he doesn't have she doesn't have the sweeps that Victor does either, so it's kind of... It's like the options we already have, but not as good.
Now my clothes are all dirty.
Am I stronger?
We still have much further to
Another
go.
locked chest. I haven't seen those in a bit. I would like to know what the trick is to unlocking those chests, if there is one. It's probably like someone you get at the end. Well, no, saying that we've met all of the party members, haven't we? Because, yeah, we got 6 people with us right now, and Victor comes back later. I know that. So I think we have met everybody that we get to use. So it can't be that. It's taking a second here. All right. Skill point usage. Game, stop that. It's doing it again. God. Can we buy? Yeah, we can level that up. Nice. And of course we can't level it up again because it costs a fair chunk of cash. Cash, whatever. Guardian. Successful guard reduces damage by taken by 20%. That sounds pretty cool, but like I haven't been guarding this entire game, and I don't think I'm about to start anytime soon. So, boo. Alright, Emerson, you go ahead and you take that sharpshooter skill. That's nice. Save time. I can't believe I've only been streaming for about 2 hours, by the way. It feels like it's been way longer than that. Of course, part of the problem is probably also just the thing disconnecting every so often from the box. I should see if it's on the monitor end.
All right, here's the Ancient Institute. Keep it
Doesn't
up.
seem to be, but we'll find out eventually, I guess, because I did
Come on.
try messing with the HDMI cable over there. It's weird because this was working fine on Wednesday. Probably is something more monitor words, but...
Shouldn't there be at least one scientist here? How is this a laboratory when the only people I've seen are guards?
It was not described as a laboratory,
In
sir.
terms of research, it's been abandoned for a long time. It's nothing but a
It was just
gigantic
described
archive
as an
now.
institute
That seems like such a waste.
and an
I have some
archive.
materials stored in a room here. Let me show you.
Hold on a sec. If this institute and the royal one are alike, does that mean?
I'd say you hit the nail on the head.
You two muttering about back there.
While I examine some stuff, you guys can...
Relia!
Uh-oh.
Relia,
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
what's wrong? Relia? Are you all right?
Relia! Relia!
Oh, she's having a flashback.
I'm okay. It hurts, but I'm strong.
Hurts?
Maybe. Maybe not. But this place, it kind of feels like home to me.
Do you remember anything else? Like, about your father or mother?
Sand. Sand? I came in from outside. Then I got yelled at. I didn't wipe my feet.
Well, any scientist considers dirt and dust the nemesis of experiments. Maybe her parents are researchers.
So we have a lab and some sand.
Speaking of sand, isn't Treykur a desert nation? I remember hearing rumors about a possible laboratory there.
What? I've never heard of Treykur having any laboratories.
Oh, surely they must
But
have
your country doesn't have
something.
diplomatic relations with Treykur, so it's possible.
Don't conflate academics with politics. There's no way I wouldn't catch wind of it.
What if it weren't an academic facility, but actually a classified one that the military uses to carry out government-sanctioned experiments?
I admit there is a non-zero probability you're right.
Treykur, huh? But since we're at war with them, could we even enter the country?
We could probably pull it off.
What if we ask Victor to help? Do you think he'd
You know, if we
mind?
just clobber them
Wonder if
enough,
he would.
eventually they'll get out of the way.
I want to know more about me.
I'm pretty sure that's how things
I
work.
want to remember more.
For now, let's go back to Central Rasulia and ask Victor. We can play it by ear from there.
Yo, dog, I heard you like backtracking. Oh boy, this is gonna drive me apeshit, isn't it? Can I do anything with these books? Oh yeah, I can go in. That seems like it would be pretty useful. Pick that up. We can learn... We can upgrade Firebolt. I mean, Earthglaive seems like it would be strong because it would have that launching effect, but that's not a fucking goddamn piece of shit HDMI cable. Ugh. I don't feel that that is a very important thing if we can just do damage. Reaping Spark. I bet that doesn't work. That sounds like an insta-kill spell. And I've played enough RPGs to know that those things are a bad choice. Ooh, that sounds pretty stout. Try doing that setup. I think the Seraphic Thunder thing might be more powerful up close. I have no new. With her, did we buy? We didn't buy the Wind Slash thing for Bill. Also, I didn't even notice that those cost SP in addition to books. That's kind of a problem. What else was I looking at in my inventory? Right, yeah, I don't have any gear. That's of much use. 3 points of magic resistance would be the main use of the anti-silence amulet. Although I probably should just stick it on Miki so that way she doesn't get silenced. You know, having the healer be silenced would probably be a bad idea. Right? On the other hand, she has these MP boosting items, so nah. Equip the energy bracelet to Fidel for a bit. It's probably gonna end up going back on Victor once we get him back. Although, you know, we may not be doing that for a bit. It would be unfortunate. Let's save once again. I know we just did, but let's do it anyway. What's it gonna hurt, right? Oh yeah, I got that. Normal 5% chance to nullify wind damage. Well, that's neat.
Hardly worth the effort. That was
This chest is still going to be locked, right? It doesn't suddenly unlock because we're just on the return path. Didn't think so, but I saw it, so I became curious. Hey, we got another one of those gold things, whatever those are, with gold exclamation points.
Enemy elimination successful. I still have a lot
I think that was a guarded stance. I'm not 100% sure.
Still room for improvement.
Alright. Alright, excuse me.
Elimination successful. Stronger? Still got a long way to go.
Why can't they all be here? More challenges lie ahead.
So I think there's like one more fight along this path at most.
The sea is full of strange creatures. Did you know that?
Creatures in the sea?
Indeed. There are giant fish that spray water from their backs. Animals like transparent balloons, beasts with as many as 8 legs, and even birds that walk on 2 legs while on land but swim while in water.
That's really neat.
The world is full of places like that. I'm sure you'll get a chance to see them for yourself someday, kiddo.
I'd suggest not going underwater without any sort of equipment of any kind. That wouldn't be such a clever idea.
Whoops. Okay then, let's reconvene in front of the inn.
Okay, time to see what everyone's up to.
Relia, how about you and I take a dip in the baths later? Really? Yeah. Yay! Can Fidel join us? No! Out of the question! We won't be able to have a peaceful bath if he's there.
He is an anime character, so...
I am a child, so for the moment, people dub me such things as genius. When you're a kid, everyone treats you like a prodigy. But once you grow up, they treat you like just another person. I fear the same thing might happen to me.
They don't listen to you,
that
do they?
hits
It's a serious
in
issue
a
for
not
you,
so
but
great
no
way.
one seems to care.
But-
It's okay. I wasn't as smart as you, but I was also called a genius as a kid. Do I look like just another person?
I'm looking at your clothes now.
You are an excellent researcher, Fiore.
You're even more of a genius than I am. Believe in yourself some more.
Something, gifted kid burnout. All that.
Hey, what's wrong, Ann?
Nothing. It must have been a figment of my imagination.
Alright, so I guess we're gonna go find Emerson up in the top right corner, because he's the last dude remaining. Unless it's someone else who's not in the party. Fidel, I have the ghost of your horrible past come back to meet you again and cause problems.
Nothing much. I was just talking to this lady.
Emerson, we know we know what you were up to.
Can you blame me? Beautiful women are one of humanity's greatest treasures.
I don't know what you mean by that, but I feel for you.
I'll try to control myself, I swear.
Sure he will. I don't know what you're talking about, but I assume you mean this place is cool. Somebody just falling asleep standing up. Like you do. One thing that this game really needs, aside from, oh boy, a lot of shit, is it really needs to have something that indicates where the next target marker is, like pointing you to the next map to go to or something like that, and just keep chaining those along or something. Like, not even necessarily like have an arrow or a radar or something like that for the objective, just something that tells you, hey, it's on this next map and you go this way and that way and all that. I think the enemies are leveling up a little bit with us, which doesn't actually keep the game any more exciting because, well, fights are not that interesting or interactive or, you know, involve anything more than just mashing the X button continuously. Alright, I can go down this cliffside, right? I don't have to go all the way around. The answer is probably going to be no, I do, but... Yep, I gotta go all the way around. I did this for nothing except for like 5 experience. Great. I'm so glad. Hey, have I taken a moment recently to mention how, like, I can't imagine Fiore's outfit ever being comfortable? Especially because, like, maybe it's just because of how shiny the textures are, but it looks like it's made of leather or something. Like, just imagine sweating in this absolute fashion disaster of all time. Oh boy. Oh, Sonic Unleashed. That is a game that exists.
I still have a lot more to learn.
I should probably get that one too, because I'm like slowly starting to accumulate a collection of shitty video games. Although, I mean, if I want a collection of bad video games, at some point I'm gonna have to...
Can't get any better than that.
Oh, I guess from doing all these little achievement type of things, I got a new role. That's interesting. You know, if I'm building up a collection of shitty video games, at some point I really have got to track down a copy of Limbo of the Lost. I mean, it's gonna be grossly expensive to be able to purchase that, but still, that would be pretty neat. I'd say it would be a conversation piece. I never have people around, but still, if I did, it would be quite a conversation piece. So let's go ahead and let's buy this new hothead thing, and we will... you know what, let's level it up again. And since Fidel is our main guy for the moment, we're going to give that to him. Ender is just guard more often. It doesn't really confer stat buffs. So I guess we can leave that on the wayside for now. Oh, I need to actually play Eden Chronicles. Is it supposed to be pronounced Eden Chronicles? I mean, it's spelled the way it is, but, like, I realized that at some point that, like, I think, considering it's tied up in a lot of the other tropes of it, maybe it is supposed to be just Eden Chronicles, but with a fancy spelling. Unfortunately, it happens to look like an existing other name, so that's a bit of a problem. But yeah, oh boy, that game is one that is infamous for being absolute garbage. I think we've discussed that on stream before. That, you know, wow. I mean, that's an option.
Stronger?
Unfortunately, to me, it just sort of looks like the name Aiden, and again, I would not be surprised since it's tied up in a lot of RPG tropes. Again, that I wouldn't be surprised if it was intended to be eaten, but I don't know for sure. I've never asked any of the developers, and I probably will never get a chance to. Either way, yeah, Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed is just kind of a mistake in general. Then again, whenever I think of Sonic Unleashed, I mostly just think of that music from when you're in Fights as the Werehog. Where they gave you like one music track, and it's... On the one hand, yeah, sure, it's one hell of a hook, but also it's just the same piece of music over and over, and it will drive you insane sooner rather than later.
That wasn't even worth the effort. Can't get any better than that.
We still have much further to go.
Don't think I'll go down.
What can I say? I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you do have to be very careful about how a lot of that stuff goes. Like, one thing this is a thing that has always kind of bugged me about this one dude who ran Earthbound way back when. He doesn't stream anymore as far as I know. He just does stock shit because, wow, who would have guessed? Anyway, so this dude was absolutely adamant that the first town in Earthbound was pronounced Onet. And it looks like it, and he's like, oh, well, in Japanese, it's spelled Oneto, and so therefore it means... But also, the game is in English, dude! And, like, it doesn't work with the fact that the rest of the towns are, you know, it's Onet, Tucson, etc. You know, it... The guy was a huge douchebag otherwise, so I don't want to get too deep into that, but, you know, he also... He took all the world records on the leaderboard, and then he disappeared to go trade stocks and get into Bitcoin. It's okay, I'm pretty sure that speedrunning Earthbound for actual numbers is pretty much dead now, which is fine. Kind of sad, because I really do like Earthbound, but... Oh well, what can you do? Basically, it's just kind of weird in general. We'll put it that way, and probably not have a whole lot else to add to it. I mean, if you want to... My feelings are that if you rely entirely on Japanese pronunciation, I think there is a point...
Oh, I see. You don't believe me, huh?
That...
I've got him on my back.
Speaking from a purely academic standpoint, and with only the most noble and rational of intentions, certain people want to know more about them.
Nice try.
Fuck you, Emerson. I actually... that's actually, like, just the level of douchebag that I think fits, but, anyway, oh my god, I actually got completely off track. Yeah. Yeah, like, I understand the idea to be like, oh, it's pronounced this way in the actual language, but also, we don't adhere to that completely in a lot of these things, so I think that there has to be a point where, yeah, you know, how do I feel about picking and choosing from the localized version versus the initial versus the version that not localized?
Okay then, let's reconvene in front of the inn.
Sorry.
Wow, Miki, what's got you foaming at the mouth?
Fiddly! This restaurant's food is terrible. The soup is too salty, and while the fish is undercooked, the sauté is somehow overcooked. The vegetables in the stew are too hard, the toast and the pie are both burnt.
Ah, I see. But for all your complaining, you sure ate a lot.
Yes, well, it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. I figured I should try everything on the menu.
Oh, you were trying to test that.
Sounds to me like the owner of this place might have a complaint or two about you.
Oh, me. You are a problem.
You like sleeping in warm places, don't you, Kitty? Do you feel snug? Is that nice? I like warm places a lot, too. They're cozy. I hate cold places. I like being with everyone more.
Aw, cute cat. Unfortunate. Yeah, the cat's face. But I'd say the cat's face modeling is probably a little bit questionable.
You here? Kitty? Kitty?
And the cat's over there. Am I seriously not able to talk to the other two? Huh. That's weird. the right way? The answer is no, we're not. Right, because it's a new player circle. Okay, well, if everybody is able to split off again.
Okay then, let's reconvene in front of the inn.
Can't get some new scene. Looks like we can. Yeah. If I could just remember that it's the start button to look at the map and not the triangle button. Unfortunately, I am very forgetful.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty?
Oh no, Anne's having trouble finding a cat. Cats do tend to just disappear sometimes. You again.
You're too young to be drinking, kiddo.
Do you like to drink?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Even though it makes you make funny faces?
Yeah, adults love bitter things.
That's weird.
Compared to the bitterness of life, alcohol almost tastes sweet.
Well, yeah, we're stretching a few words a little bit here, but I guess I'm hoping to see a little bit going on out of someone a little more than just Emerson. Because, okay, wow, they gave this one dude a personality. And then it looks at everybody else. Like, again, I feel I've said this earlier, but it feels kind of bizarre to me that Fiore has so little going on in terms of personality when they made her so outlandish. Like, you'd think there'd at least be a little bit of something. You know, some degree of eccentricity or something. As opposed to just, oh, she's really smart and
looks like we're in for bad weather tonight. We should find shelter as soon as possible.
Wow. How do you know that?
I just do, that's all. Something about the way the wind smells, I guess.
I don't smell anything.
Well, when you get to be as old as me, you'll learn that...
I see Miki saw the green sky, so she knows about the
Don't
oncoming
worry.
tornado.
You'll be able to do it someday, Aurelia.
What can I say? I'm a perfectionist.
At least that's what I was always told, is that when there's a tornado coming, the sky turns a nasty, nasty fucking green. Thankfully, I've never been that close to a tornado, so, you know, confirming it myself. But I've talked to people who have. Quite a few of them. They've all said, yeah, that's true. To which I say, fucking weird.
More challenges lie ahead.
Can I say I'm a perfectionist?
Alright, here comes some nerds.
Why can't they all be this easy?
Harvest point over here before we go into town again. They'll probably be disappointed in the fact that we don't get our favorite character back. Yeah, because I'm feeling like getting to control all 7 characters isn't really a thing that happens until pretty late into the game, and we're not that near the end at this point. We are a decent chunk in, I think.
The whole town's on edge.
But
What could have happened here?
You could cut the tension here with a knife.
Not
Should we
that level,
just turn
alright.
around?
We don't have any other leads, so let's just look for Victor.
Since he's a soldier, my bet is he's at the castle.
Alright, what do you got for us, dude? Alright, so we got this bastard sword, which is better than what we have now. Looks like everybody is getting an upgrade here. Everybody's gonna have to wait on getting anything, but we can sell what we've got in inventory to get a little bit of cash back. I feel like I should sell some of these crafting items and stuff if I don't really know what I'm doing with them. That's worth 20. That's decent. Oh, well, there's our full heal. In the Pokemon sense, not the... Dump. Signet cards, however, could be pretty good. Alright, we are
You
entering our
recruits?
cutscene.
No, we're not. We're here to see Lieutenant Oakville, the leader of the 3rd Ranger Unit. Could you please tell him Fidel's here?
A little busy, probably.
I don't know how you know him, but he's busy. Scram!
My name is Fiore Brunelli, and I am an emissary from the Royal Institute of Signatory Studies in Languedoc, come to aid your country as per your king's request. Are we still not allowed an audience?
Oh, well,
By the way, this man is the progeny of Darryl, your military advisor.
Don't bring my
No.
dad into...
Use what's at your disposal. I understand that bandying about your connections can be embarrassing, but choosing pride over duty shows that you're still a kid. Grow up and learn to live with it.
You heard the lady.
Ouch. That one's gotta smart.
we're extremely sorry, but Lieutenant Oakville is currently...
Lady Brunelli and Fidel's troop. What brings you here?
Mr. Oakville!
Who are they?
I'm Emerson. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Anne.
The two of them not only saved us from a sticky situation, they're also helping Relia get her memory back.
My name is Victor Oakville. I am employed in the service of Fidel's father.
We came because we need to ask you something.
We want to talk because we need help crossing the border into Traker. You see, it's essential that Relia goes there. She recalled one memory earlier, but we think Traker holds the key to the rest of them.
That's impossible. As Sortaview's fallen. And there's more. Enemy forces have advanced practically to the capital.
Well, this is gonna be ugly.
If that's how it is, I'll help. I was dispatched from Languedoc to assist in the war effort, but I've left the front lines. Some of that responsibility lies with me.
I'm the one who put Fiore on that path, though. If she gets to help out, and so do I.
We'll do what we can to ensure victory as well.
Good to hear. I'd be happy to accept your offer. All right, then. Follow me.
Alright, it looks like we're putting the band back together. to go off on another major distraction from the plot, because honestly, yeah. Hey,
Wait here while I make preparations.
These Funky Kongs, they're
In the
still
meantime,
alive.
Those
Amazing.
provisions are part of the King's Chosen's exclusive stores. If you care to live through this battle, I suggest you take them.
Neat, you got some nice
Yowzers. Who defend the enemy
Sir, I
waltzing right
request
up
the
to the
addition of an
capital?
independent section. One composed of the Langdochan Signaturge and her guard, sir.
She'll fight for us again?
Yes.
How fortuitous. I'd be extremely grateful if she could handle the enemy's new weapons for us.
I'll pass the word.
Alright, let's heal. Putting that there, game.
So, what do you want to do?
Go with you.
But we're heading into the heart of battle.
I'm okay.
That girl's got the guts of someone over 3 times her age.
Her courage isn't the issue here.
Alright, let's talk to the Nerd Brigade real quick. You guys got nothing to say to us? Well, alright. What about our 2 space cops here?
Don't you think getting involved in their war is unethical?
It's not like we can back out now.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
How could you tell? You're good at this.
I know, it seems like they've been hanging out together forever, so...
Incoming from the west. They're 5,000 strong and led by Rasul.
They're finally here. Let's show them what Rasuli is made of.
Real quick, is there a save point in here?
Understood.
No, there isn't.
Yes, sir. Over now. We were not lose to those savages.
All forces march!
March only after we've moved out.
Sir.
May we meet on the battlefield.
We're good, right?
No wandering off, Relia. Okay?
Okay.
Back out we go. Getting a lot of loading here, so I'm expecting a cutscene or a large amount of models to show up. Oh no, it's a big battle. Makes sense.
Provide support.
I want to help.
They're all good here.
Sit down.
I need to fight here. There's been a lot of these like big siege style battles, which is interesting. Game? Not the time. And by game, I mean fucking box. I didn't have a target acquired, so that was real great.
Why are you here? Give me the cold shoulder and I'll chop it right off, old man.
Not done yet.
There's our dad who's complaining about health. As usual.
This isn't the time to be wandering about.
The problem is I'm not 100% sure where to go because they didn't update the map or anything for us.
No one likes getting hurt.
Goes on. Alright, well, we've taken care of this other block of cannon fodder. I guess we move this way.
I'll pick them out soldiers, but I'll need cover.
Now I know my suspicions were right.
But not to distribute them to the natives. Shine with blood.
Well, these guys are a lot more durable. They also don't seem to be very capable of doing large amounts of fast damage to us. I feel like the game is getting a little bit easier at this point. I'm sure that as soon as I say that, I'm going to eat my words. But it feels like a lot of these fights are a lot... You know, because they're not so incredibly fast, that being able to deal with that is a lot easier. And Nikki is down.
Wow, you think that means Alon is his turtle?
Problem. Alright.
Now's not the time for speculation.
Oh, we got Victor on our party again, by the way. I didn't mention it because right there.
I still have
Not
much
bad for a guy
further
with
to
a
go.
few years on him.
I still have a lot more to learn.
So let's take a look at a decent chunk of SP stuff. We're gonna sit on that for a while. More mastery percentage. Cheapen that further. Be a bad idea to level. Yeah. Boosts our mana cost even further. Controller. Pulverizer. Cover 4% HP when breaking guard. Perform more strong attacks. Yes, I want that now. I think that's going on to whomever we end up controlling, which is probably going to continue to be Fidel for a little bit. Grab these while we're thinking about it. Or attacker level 4 anymore. That's okay. We'll be fine, I'm sure. Pulverizer, and we're gonna give Victor. Well, first of all, Victor can take the defender roll back. He can also take Pothead. And off we go.
Didn't we meet those guys at the inn?
Hey, it's the actual
Whoa, now.
space cops.
Don't point those boomsticks around willy-nilly.
My group will act as the decoy.
What? Did they pinch our guns?
No, sir. That's against the law isolating crude worlds.
You are such a downer. Besides, they broke the treaty first, you know.
Watch out!
Guys, split up! We're too close!
Well, thanks, Emerson.
Hey, did I hear what I think I did? The UP3, am I right? Why are there stakes from the Federation here? That's illegal!
Illegal? You're surely one to talk. Who's joined a war in a distant star system? I believe that's Kronos.
Shut the hell up, you huge idiot! We don't care a lick about this war. Now get that loser kid to surrender Relia to us! Why do you want
Oh
this
yeah,
girl
then why
so
are you
much?
involved with
Sit me,
this,
you
you know?
maggot.
Oh,
We're not
right,
pulling
it's because
any
you're...
punches if the Federation's involved. This is your last warning, monkeys. Relinquish Relia.
Monkeys, wow, what an asshole. I get it, we're on a backwater planet, Jesus.
What's a thing like that doing in this sector?
Gonna break other mandates now? CFNZ statutes too?
I don't want to say this again, maggots. Surrender Relia now!
You can take her. In return, get out of here. Let this war run its course.
What? Took you quite a while to come around, you baboons. Relia stays. And what is that thing? Just hanging in the sky. I know you know!
Obviously, there's no way we can beat that thing. Complying's our only choice now. We'll counterattack these jerks in due time.
You know, fair enough. I've seen what that dude can do when he's AI controlled. Just
Relia,
blow all of them up as soon as they turn around.
Let go! I can't let this...
Get back!
What the?
A mighty rare sneak peek of our strength. You learned that messing with us is futile yet? Did ya?
Oh, look, she's probably using the exact same mysterious powers.
That light's Relia's? So, her true nature's unleashed. How intensely beauteous!
And wow, this guy's mouth does not animate, like, at all.
Roots! Get Relia this instant! Damn it! This sucks!
Good dialogue! Oh, right. Pardon me.
Piss! They aren't here?
Should I tell the General what exactly's transpired?
Oh, you can see
Don't you
where
dare
they
speak unless I say to.
didn't want to
You
have the
maggot!
word shit.
I assume she's somewhere close. I want her here now!
Well, now what, everybody? Because I have no idea where we went, even. Oh, we're in the middle of...
Where are...
Is this all snow?
Relia, you okay?
What just happened to us?
Yep. A phenomenon analogous to transport, apparently.
Again, Fiore's going to be having a shit
I'll
time with
assume
this because of her,
one of Riola's signets did this, but
you
this
know.
is nothing like what happened before.
So that's
Of course,
the extent
nobody's
of
ever
Lunar
equipped for snow
Starlight's
in one of
May
these
very well
games,
be
but
true,
still.
Pieces
Where
are
in the
coming
world
together.
are we?
No need to worry about that. We're in the northern territory of Soma.
How do you know that?
I grew up around here.
This does indeed seem to be Soma.
If this really is Soma, then Rasulia should be directly to the south.
Then, let's start making our way south.
I'll lead the way.
Of course, as soon as we hit the save point, cutscene time. Fuck this game. Somebody say something. Hello? Anybody?
This region is famous for all the snow it gets. In fact, you can't see the ground for half the year.
As someone who grew up in an area without much snow, I'm pretty envious of you. I rarely got to see any.
Snow's more trouble
Can't
than
say
it's
I
worth most of
understand
the
your
time.
point of view.
It'd be great for playing in, but I guess it must be difficult to make a living in it. You can't even grow food.
Many of the best soldiers and mercenaries come from Soma, as its harsh climate helps prepare them for tough situations.
You know, Victor, the way you say that implies that you think you're one of the best soldiers in the world.
That was never my intention.
Don't worry, I would never actually take it that way. I just think it's cute when you get defensive about stuff.
You should show more respect.
Oh, she likes
That
him too. I
sounds
can
just
understand.
like something Fiddly's father would say. Birds of a feather flock together, as they say.
Mr. Camus and I are birds of a feather? You truly think so?
Yeah, you're pretty similar.
I see. So we are similar.
You have anything to say? Nope.
Hey, Squirt. You mind if we tag?
Don't get any closer to her. You know a lot more than you're letting on. On top of that, you tried to hand Relia over to the enemy. Those two things are more than enough to make me wary of you. So I don't want you coming anywhere near her.
I'm gonna have to watch out for this one.
Anything else, buddy? Seemed like you would, but... Talkative sort in general. Nope. Oh, he's got an answer.
All right.
Cell phone.
I leave it to you.
Is something the matter?
No, not really.
What about you?
I believe you said earlier that Relia is the one who transported us?
Yes, as a hypothesis.
And that she used a different technique from last time. Is that correct?
I did say that, but what of it?
Oh, nothing. I was just taken aback by what transpired and wanted to figure out exactly what sort of situation we're in.
Oh, I see. All right then.
Wow, nothing of consequence happened there. Amazing. Break from the cutscene. There we go. And now we can save. Alright, finally. It had me a little bit worried for a bit, because there was no save point before that big battle. I thought, oh, this could go pretty badly, pretty easily. But it didn't! Hooray!